Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com, here to do your weekly intuitive reading for Monday, August 16th through Sunday, August 22nd, 2021. For this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Animal Wise Tarot by Ted Andrews for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Divine Animals Oracle deck by Stacy DeMarco. Just a reminder that we're now entering the second half of the month, so if you haven't already watched the monthly intuitive reading for the month of August, please be sure to go onto my YouTube channel and watch that monthly intuitive reading, complete with the messages from our angels and guides, the intuitive outlook from an energetic standpoint, numerologically, astrologically, and special message cards depending on your stone of choice for that. I also want to make mention that it's been a little while since we've used this new format for the weekly intuitive readings, where I'm talking on camera, showing you your stones of choice, talking about the astrological transits of significance, and then we shift our perspective to look at the card messages from our angels and guides and your special message card by switching to the cards being displayed with the stones in front of them. So I had a lot of people back then tell me that they liked the new format. I'm just checking in and wondering if everybody still likes this particular format, or if there's a preference for me to go back to it all being just me off camera and just showing you the cards. Now, please realize that, I'm sure some of you like one way and some of you like another way. I just wonder if you all like this particular format for the most part. I want to make sure that my viewing audience is happy, but again, everybody has different perspectives and different viewpoints, so I'll just try to do the best I can, or I can flip-flop back and forth, possibly. So, anyway, let's go ahead and start by taking a look at our stones of choice for this week. Okay, so the first stone of choice is Unakite. Now, Unakite, it's a green stone, but it's got a lot of pink in it, as you'll notice. The Unakite is a stone of vision. It helps to open the third eye. It's used for scrying, interestingly enough, a lot of the times. It's a stone of both balance and grounding, and it helps to bring the emotions into a sense of spiritual alignment, or bringing the emotions in balance with spirituality, so to speak. Okay, our second stone of choice is Hematite. And Hematite helps to bring a sense of inner strength, self-confidence. It enhances our willpower and our confidence. It helps with reliability. It brings a sense of balance to the physical and the etheric bodies. And it is a stone of the mind, and it is very useful for shadow work. And then our last stone of choice is Serpentine. And Serpentine helps to enhance spiritual exploration. It assists in the retrieval of wisdom, helps to regain memory of past lives, and stimulates the crown chakra, opening our psychic abilities. Again, our stones of choice here are the Unakite, the Hematite, and the Serpentine. And one of the reasons I wonder about changing the format is a lot of you like to look at the stones throughout me talking about the astrological transits. Others of you are able to just kind of pause the camera, if you will, and we do, once we shift perspectives, we do have the stones laid out in front of the card. So, all right. Now, it's a very busy week astrologically speaking, a lot going on, but the first thing that struck me when I was writing out the transits and meditating, pulling cards and whatnot, was that this is the week of August 16th through August 22nd. And it struck me that the number 16, which is where we start this week out, August 16th, the number 16 is a karmic number. And that karmic number 16 deals with huge redirections and huge changes in our lives that are either initiated or in the beginning stages of unfolding. The 16th major arcana is the Tower card, and so it usually talks of, again, some huge death and rebirth type of experience that happens situationally. And then we end this week on August 22nd, and again, it struck me that 22 for the 22nd is a master number in numerology, and that master number is about restructuring, or it's about building a solid foundation. It's about being the master builder and the master manifester. It's about needing to retain balance physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually because of the 2 twos there of the 22, while we again have a strong, solid footing or grounding or focus with the energies. And even though there's not a 22nd major arcana in the tarot, a lot of people are of the thought that the 22nd major arcana is actually the 0 major arcana, because if you think about it, in numerology we start with the number 1 because 0 isn't really a number. And as we go through the tarot, or the major arcana of the tarot, with 1 being the magician, 2 is the priestess, 3 the empress, and so on, the last major arcana is actually 21, which is the world card, the card of completion. But where's the 0? Where's the fool card? Because the fool card in the tarot is a 0. And so numerologically, a lot of people in that study of numerology suggest that that master number 22 energy actually relates to the Fool card, the tarot card 0, that 0 major arcana of the Fool. So in essence, we're starting with the Tower and we're ending with the Fool card energy, which is about making a leap. Through trust and faith, we're taking a big leap into something new, or into the void, or we're trusting as we make that leap and make that change and start something new, that we're going to land on our own 2 feet. We're going to land on solid ground, which again is that master number 22, that structure beneath our feet, so to speak. So I found that interesting. Now, to talk about some of these astrological transits, a lot of them have to do with personal planets. The personal planets in astrology are the faster moving planets. And the faster moving planets are the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars. A little bit slower moving are Jupiter and Saturn, and then the very slowest moving are Uranus, Chiron, Neptune, and Pluto. So we have a lot going on, especially with Mercury and even Mars this week, and even Venus is changing signs, and a couple of things going on with the Sun. So again, a lot of the personal planets are at play this week, which means that there's a lot going on in our earthly third dimensional lives. When we have a lot of personal planet transits, it means there's a lot going on within our sense of individuality, our sense of self, which is the Sun. The Sun rules our self and our identity. We have a lot going on with Mercury, which is our thoughts, our ideas, our perceptions, our communications, messages, information. And we have a lot going on with Mars this week, which is the planet of energy, action, forward movement. It's the warrior energy, right? So it deals with things moving forward in a timely manner or not. And then with Venus changing signs, Venus rules relationships and love and personal resources, money and finances. So again, these are kind of third dimensional aspects in our lives where there's a lot going on this week. And on Monday the 16th, we start out with Venus changing signs. So Venus is now moving out of the sign of Virgo, where she probably wasn't the happiest, because Virgo loves balance and harmony and love, and Virgo is very logical and analytical and pays attention to details, and it's just much more mind connected than Venus likes to be. Venus is now moving into her home sign of Libra. She rules Taurus and Libra, okay? So this is now Venus in Libra, the sign of partnerships, relationships, balance, harmony, equality. So there's going to be a focus now, while Venus is in Libra for the next few weeks, on the balance, equality, harmony, compromise energies within partnerships and relationships, and maybe money and finances too, but Libra is the sign of relationships, so definitely relationships is indicated. And she's going to be in the sign of Libra from August 16th through September 10th. Not quite a month, but almost, about 3 weeks, right? A little over 3 weeks. Also on Monday, we have Mercury in Virgo. Now, Mercury is, again, a planet of the mind. It rules the mental realm. And right now, he's in his home sign of Virgo. He also rules 2 signs of the zodiac like Venus does. Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo. Right now, Mercury is in Virgo. And so very analytical, very looking at the details of things, trying to figure out what the plan of action is. It's all about organization. It's all about details. It's all about making a plan, taking care of small things that need to be taken care of. And on Monday, Mercury is in an inconjunct to Saturn. Saturn is the planet of delays, limitations, restrictions, but also the planet that rules structure, form, and manifestation. But the inconjunct is a little bit of a tricky aspect. It would be more considered a challenging aspect than anything. And so we want to look at some of those maybe shadow qualities of Saturn, of limitation, restriction, and delays. And Mercury being a planet of the mind, we might expect that there's some challenging communication issues with other people, or challenging energies within our own mind as far as our thoughts and our perceptions, where we might be a little bit perfectionistic or too detail-oriented or too overly logical or analytical, wanting to have everything make total and perfect sense when sometimes in life things just don't make sense. And with Saturn being also a planet of delays and needing to have patience, we might need to have patience for the messages to come in, for the proper information to come in, for things to start to make sense. On Tuesday the 17th, the Sun, which is actually still in Leo, bright sunny fire sign Leo, creative energy of Leo, but it's in an inconjunct aspect to Pluto. So again, there's this weird energy of needing to make some sort of adjustments in our lives with our sense of self, our creative self-expression. We're needing to adjust the energies so that we own our power or take back our power, because that's what Pluto's about. There's a death and rebirth transitional energy going on with Pluto, right? And so here we're needing to move through some sort of letting go and then rising into a new kind of rebirth energy in regards to our creative self-expression, or in regards to our leadership potential or abilities, in regards to how we shine our light and feeling confident and empowered as we shine our light. So again, some adjustments to be made there. On Wednesday the 18th, we have both Mercury and Mars coming together in Virgo and making an inconjunct aspect to Chiron. So Mercury, again, we know is the ruler of the mind and communications and perceptions. And Mars is the planet of energy, action, and forward movement. And he's in Virgo as well. So he's not moving very fast, right? He's taking things step by step, because that's a Virgo thing to do. Virgos are observant of the details, and they move through things very cautiously and methodically as far as that next step. So Mars is in that mode of doing that. Mercury is in the mode of thinking and analyzing all the possibilities. Now they're both in that inconjunct to Chiron, the wounded healer, the one that rules past life wounds and the one that helps to heal those past life wounds. Chiron is in Aries, which it has been for quite a while, and it will be for some time yet to come, helping us to heal our sense of self and our self-identity and our confidence and our courage. And so I think that as Mars and Mercury come together on Wednesday, activating more of the plan, activating more of our organizational abilities to take things step by step and pay attention to the details, that in conjunct to Chiron is helping us to heal the idea that we want to, with our forward movement and action, we want to move fast, because Mars always wants to move fast. It sees the end result. It's the warrior. It wants to take charge and make things happen. But Virgo says, no, we have to pay attention to all these different details. We have to take things step by step and make sure that we don't miss anything. And in the process, it might bring in this idea of a lack of self-confidence or a lack of courage because we're feeling like we're slowed down, or we're getting caught up in our mind and some of the doubts and the fears that Virgo sometimes can bring about. So there needs to be a healing in regards to these areas of our life. On Thursday, the 19th, the Sun in Leo is opposing Jupiter in Aquarius. Now, Jupiter is the planet of abundance, prosperity, blessings, opportunities. Jupiter rules the expansion principle, and it rules our belief systems. Because it rules the expansion energy, Jupiter doesn't look at only expanding into blessings or only expanding into the positive. Jupiter just expands whatever it touches. So if you happen to get in a negative rut, let's say, and you're focusing on, let's say, fear or anxiety, Jupiter could very easily expand us into that. However, the Sun in Leo is a strong placement. I mean, the Sun is now in its ruling sign of Leo, so it's shining its light brightly. It's exuding its creative self-expression and passion and confidence and leadership. And to me, with it opposing Jupiter in Aquarius, Jupiter is just going to expand those positive qualities of the Sun. And Jupiter in Aquarius is expanding our hopes and dreams and wishes, expanding our desire to work together in groups of like-minded people for the betterment of humanity. Jupiter in Aquarius is focused on expanding into the future and what that can bring for us, again, personally, as well as on a collective level. So, look for connections with other people on or around Thursday to expand us or expand our creativity in some way, shape, or form. Networking would be a good thing. Also on Thursday the 19th, Uranus, the planet that is the Great Awakener, the planet that rules sudden and unexpected change, redirection. Uranus rules freedom energies, liberation energies. It rules things that are strange, odd, or unusual, or shocking. And as it's slowing down and kind of is at a stationary point this whole week, as it's at its stationary point, it magnifies the energies that Uranus rules. So all those keywords that I just gave you, strange, unusual, shocking, unexpected, freedom, liberation, awakening, higher dimensional energies, the God mind, connecting to the God mind, channeling. All of those things that Uranus rules is going to be expanded and magnified as it stations and turns to retrograde motion on the 19th. And it turns retrograde at 14 degrees of Taurus. So, we could expect maybe some unexpected happening with money and finances, for instance, or any type of personal resource that we have, because Taurus rules that area of life. But the unexpected, the change, the freedom, the breaking free of something that's holding us back, that can happen potentially in any area of life because everybody has Uranus transiting a different part of their chart, connecting to different planets of your own astrological birth blueprint. So you might have to take a look at your chart to find out how that Uranus retrograde might affect you. On Friday the 20th, and then on Saturday the 21st, Mercury and then Mars are both going to positively connect to Uranus. And because Uranus has just turned to retrograde motion and its energies are intensified, this is going to intensify the energy of Mercury connecting with Uranus on Friday and Mars in Virgo connecting to Uranus on Saturday. So this can bring unexpected messages or unexpected information or the puzzle pieces just kind of falling into place in some way, shape, or form. It can bring a little bit faster movement at this time, even though Mars in Virgo takes things step by step. Uranus is liberating, right? And it frees us in some way. So there might be some sort of leap or forward movement in a faster way during that period of time over the weekend. And then we end on Sunday, the 22nd, that master number 22, with the sun moving out of Leo and into the sign of Virgo. So now we have a lot of Virgo energy going on, right? We've got Mercury in Virgo, Mars in Virgo, and the sun on Sunday will be moving into Virgo. So over the next month, while the sun is there, again, we're paying attention to information. We're paying more attention to things that are practical, grounded, logical, organized, details, making a plan, and taking things step by step. Okay, so that's what's going on astrologically. Let's go ahead and shift our perspective to see what messages we have from our angels and guides. Okay, again, let's take a look at those stones of choice. Okay, so that first stone of choice was the Unakite. The second stone of choice was the Hematite. And the third stone of choice was the Serpentine. Okay. So, and as I was laying out the cards here, also you might see that there's an extra card here, which comes from that Divine Animals Oracle deck by Stacy DeMarco, which is where we're going to pull that special message card from. But they wanted me to pull a special message card for everyone as well. So this is going to be for everyone when we get to that. So let's go ahead and take a look at, now you can see there's lots of cards here. So lots going on this week with the cards as well as astrologically. Let's start with this card here. And we start with the Two of Winged Ones. This is like the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot, the Two of Air, the Two of Winged Ones. It's the blue jay here, and it says proper choice and use of power. Proper choice and use of power. So the number 2, we need to have a balance, right? There needs to be some sort of balance. Now, this is a balance in the mental realm, a balance of the mind, a balance of our perceptions, and a balance of our communications with other people. Now, the blue jay, right, is the throat chakra, and it's a very vibrant blue. That could even be the ear chakras. It could be the third eye chakra. So this is throat chakra, speaking our truth, being authentic, open and honest, and speaking our truth, but speaking it with love and compassion. The ear chakra is to hear the messages from our angels, from our guides, and hear what other people are saying, too, to really listen to what they're trying to express and say. And then the third eye chakra, too, of higher vision, paying attention to our dreams, paying attention to our clairvoyant messages, paying attention to synchronicities or those aha moments or deja vu sort of experiences. Our psychic abilities are expanded here. But the main message here is about staying balanced and using proper communication, staying balanced within our thoughts. I think we should take a look at the card that came out with this one. Let's see if we have further information about that blue jay. And this one is the Nine of Ancients. This is the Nine of Fire, the Nine of Wands in the traditional tarot. It's the Gila monster, which is an interesting animal, not one that you regularly hear of, right? It says maintain control and beliefs. And so that really gives us more information about that Two of Swords, right? The Two of Swords is about thoughts, ideas, perceptions, communications, and this one says maintain control and beliefs. So I want to say we have to kind of control our belief systems in a way and not put out negative speech, not verbalize or negatively communicate with other people, not think negatively or get stuck in a rut with our perceptions and our belief systems. This is really about staying balanced with our mind, our thoughts, our perceptions, our ideas, and our communications, right? This is ancient energy, right? The Gila monster, reptilian energy, lizard energy, and I don't mean reptilian in that negative way that sometimes we talk about it, but I just mean this is an ancient energy, right? The snakes, the lizards, alligators, that's all of those reptiles that have been around for a long time. So there's an ancient wisdom about this. And the number 9 is the last of the single digit numbers. So we're coming into some sort of completion about a way we're perceiving something. We're coming to the end or completion about the way we think about something or understand something with the combination of these two cards together. And the number 9 numerologically is a number that deals with unconditional love and compassion and peace and forgiveness and being a humanitarian and being of service to other people. So it's actually a very beautiful sort of energy. So, this Gila monster in this picture looks like it's protecting its eggs. It's protecting its young ones. So there's a protection, a spiritual protection that is surrounding us right now, because the number 9 is a number of the spiritual realm. So definitely we have help. We have help from our angels, guides, ancestors, etc. of the light. So call upon that. All right, let's take a look at this card in the middle. Okay, we have the Ace of Ancients, another card of the Ancients, and we have the Frog here, right? Frogs have been around for a really, really long time too. The Ace of Fire, this is a new beginning. The aces are always about a new beginning. The suit of Ancients, fire, wands, is the suit of the spiritual. It's the suit of creativity or creation. So here we have a new beginning of creative self-expression. We have a new beginning on a spiritual level. There's something new that's starting to unfold and transpire. And the Frog says fertility and new beginnings. So this is definitely something positive. There's fertility and new beginnings ahead for us. Something new is transpiring. And maybe it's because Uranus is turning retrograde. Maybe there's a shift there. When planets turn retrograde, it internalizes the energy. So that awakening energy of Uranus, that freedom energy of Uranus that usually is projected outward in outer circumstances and situations, now it's going to project inwards. So we're going to feel more of that sense of freedom within ourselves. We're going to feel more of that awakening of consciousness and higher consciousness levels within ourselves. And that quite possibly could be the new beginning on a spiritual level that's taking place. Also think about the frog. It takes leaps and hops, right? And so it doesn't crawl along really slowly. When it's ready to move, it moves by a huge leap and a hop, which is a Uranus kind of energy too, right? It's awakening very quickly, suddenly, and unexpectedly, this new energy. So that's an exciting message. Let's take a look at this card here. Okay, this is Major Arcana 13, the Death card, and it's the snake here in this particular deck. It says shedding the old and resurrection. This is about death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration. And what's interesting is that Major Arcana 13 is a karmic number, and it is karmically a number of death and rebirth, transitional energies in numerology. And the month of August, if you watched my August monthly video, relates to or vibrates to this karmic number of 13, because August is the 8th month. We're in a 5 universal year for 2021, and 8 plus 5 equals that 13. So this energy is really strong this week. Again, I think this relates to Uranus. Now, Uranus is not known as the planet of death and rebirth. Actually, that's more of a Pluto keyword or key phrase. But because we have that awakening energy of Uranus, I feel like this is, again, it's helping us to shed what is old or heavy or what we don't need anymore. We're shedding layers of dense energy, and we're moving into this time of rebirth and transformation, and as the card says, resurrection. So this is a quite exciting thing. I really like, snakes. Would I like to, see them out in the wild, cross my path? I don't know. It depends on the snake. Usually I'm not really that afraid of snakes. But the snake energy as a totem is very, very powerful and very shamanic and very much an energy that leads us into sort of this completion of old energies within ourselves, or releasing karmic patterns of energy within ourselves, and being able to move into rebirthing ourselves and rebirthing our lives in some way, some new way. We're resurrecting ourselves in some new way. Let's take a look at the last card here and see what further information we might be able to glean about that death card there. Oh, we have the High Priestess, another Major Arcana. This is Major Arcana 2, the High Priestess, the Spider. And it says intuition and weaving of fate. That's what the priestess is about, right? The priestess. She's very powerful, very magical, very empowered, very psychic and intuitive, and she weaves her own fate with magic, right? Whenever I see spider energy, or as it shows here, the web, right? We're creating we're creating our own web of life. We're creating our own creations in our life. In other words, we're creating our own reality through weaving the situations in our life, which means, we can unweave them and weave something new, right? The priestess is such a magical energy. She has the capacity to not only create, but to uncreate and then recreate, right? So this is kind of weaving our own fate. Very powerful energy to end with the Death card and the Priestess card here. So there's a huge, powerful transformation and change that's going on. And we're being empowered. We're coming into more balance of our masculine and feminine energy. Although the Priestess, right? The Priestess is feminine. But to me, she's got that very powerful divine masculine energy about her, with that magic and that wisdom and her psychic abilities and her ability to kind of create and weave the magic of life the way she desires. So huge, powerful, powerful energies here. Let's take a look at the special message card for everyone before we look at your special message card. Okay, this is the Bull, and it says sacrifice at the bottom. The Bull, sacrifice. Now, I'm less drawn to the word sacrifice, and I'm more drawn to what I'm seeing behind the Bull. Look at all the lightning bolts, right? Uranus in astrology rules lightning, right? Sudden, unexpected, powerful, awakening, lightning bolts of energy. It's the aha moment. It's that sudden shift, sudden vision that we have, sudden redirection that takes place. Sometimes it can bring a storm, so to speak. That's metaphoric. It can bring a storm of realization into our lives. And the Bull is a very strong, sturdy animal. Remember we talked about master number 22, that this week ends on the 22nd, master number 22. The 2 and 2 adds up to a 4, and the 4 is about a solid foundation, and it's about structure and something solid. And that to me is what the Bull is all about. So there may be some sudden changes and redirections that are coming in, some sort of, you might even call it a storm kind of energy, metaphorically speaking, some sort of, huge change that comes in, just like the Death card, some sort of death and rebirth. But we have a solid foundation. We have an ability to stay grounded with the Bull energy. We have this strength, this confidence. Look at the big horns too. This is like higher perceptions, higher realizations, connecting us to God source energy universe with the crown chakra, being an open, which is another Uranus thing. Uranus rules the God mind and the ability to channel higher dimensional energies from universal source down within us to be grounded and manifested into reality, which is really, to me, that Bull energy here. We even see down here at the bottom, just noticed it, a little figure of a man. The lightning bolts are coming down, and the person, that little person down there under the Bull, also has lightning bolts coming out of their hands. So whether the lightning bolts are coming down and they're grabbing them, they're utilizing that quick, sudden, unexpected, higher vibrational, galactic sort of energy. We just got done with the Lionsgate portal, right? And supposedly it's closed, but for the rest of this week, the sun remains in Leo, that sign that we are always in when we're in the Lionsgate portal. So perhaps this is the last little bit of this magical energy coming down and, being able to be utilized by us as human beings. So take advantage of that. All right, now we can pick up this deck that I almost knocked over on the table here, and we can look at your special message card, depending on your stone of choice. So we're going to give this a little shuffle, and the first stone of choice was the Unakite, right? Special message for the Unakite people this week. Special message for Unakite. This one's really calling my attention for the Unakite people. Ooh, I love it. Snow leopard. Snow leopard. Powerful cat energy with the rest of the Leo the lion energy that we're in for the rest of this week. And it says at the bottom, the Watcher. Look at that snow leopard with its big, beautiful blue eyes. The Watcher is the key phrase there down at the bottom. Now, really drawn to the fact that there is those blue eyes and that blue energy encircling this snow leopard. This to me is the color more of the throat chakra because it's a turquoise kind of color blue. So we're going to use, again, our throat chakra to speak our truth with power, with courage, with confidence, with authenticity. We've got, to me, there's, ascended masters, guides, angels, archangels, all of those that deal with throat chakra energy and speaking our truth through speaking, teaching, writing, communication of some sort is involved here. This could be Archangel Gabriel, helps us to receive and give messages, or helps us to teach or use our words in some way, shape, or form. There could be others that you're drawn to that helps us with communication. Archangel Raguel also is one that helps us with communication. And what else can we glean from this as we looked? I feel like there's definitely, I definitely feel like, because of all this universal star energy, and again, although it's not a lion, it's a snow leopard, which is from the cat family, and that Lion's Gate portal that officially supposedly closed on August 12th, but yet the sun is in Leo until the 22nd, the end of this week on Sunday. So I feel like there's some remaining energies here that we can kind of pull down and glean from our star brothers and sisters. We even see sort of like a cat person within this turquoise blue circle above the snow leopard. Almost reminds me of, maybe it almost looks like a cat person, right? So to me, it's like our Sirian or Lyrian star brothers and sisters of the light. So I feel like you can call upon them for this ability to speak your truth, be confident, be open and honest, and again, I'm just trying to intuit what else they're saying here. There's something about timing too, like they're saying, make sure that when you communicate, whatever your message is, that you're communicating at the right time. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's go ahead and take a look at the special message card for the hematite people. Hematite, special message for the hematite people. I opened my eyes, but nothing was like catching my attention right off the bat. This one is now, though. Hematite people, we have bison, the bison, and the message at the bottom says ritual. And of course, we have a Native American looking woman here, right? She's got a drum in her hand. She's got a feather. She's got a headdress on. And that bison, she's got a dream catcher here, and that's the dream catcher that has the bison on it. So bison, almost like that bull, we already pulled that card of the bull. And although bison is a different animal, it still has that strong, sturdy, confident, solid, foundational sort of energy, grounded energy with it, which is very interesting. Our Native American ancestors, I feel like for you all, for the hematite people, are coming in to assist you. You might want to do a shamanic journey. You might want to call in your shaman ancestors of the light or Native American ancestors of the light. Of course, there is a woman here, right? So this is maybe a medicine woman, calling in that medicine woman energy to guide you to the next step on your path. The drum, to me, listening to drumming music kind of puts us in this meditative journey kind of state. And, here we can meet the the bison. We can meet the bison in that shamanic journey that leads us to, again, a restructuring of our lives, that leads us to a new sense of a solid foundation in our lives, courage, confidence, ability to slowly and meticulously move forward with strength. We have the clouds here, darker over here, lighter over here, and here's that turquoise blue energy again. So again, we have the turquoise blue of the throat chakra. The feather is also turquoise blue. There's parts of her headdress that are turquoise blue. So again, we have this speech, this throat chakra, higher speech, higher wisdom, higher knowledge coming down from the universe. The ability with that Uranus energy this week to channel higher dimensional messages from spirit. The number 35 adds up to the number 8, which is a very empowering number. So there's something empowering here with this particular energy. All right. And then for those of you that chose the Serpentine, special message for Serpentine people. This one's popping right up, isn't it? Okay. And we've got the gorilla, another strong animal, right? All of these, I mean, the snow leopard is powerful. The bison is powerful. The gorilla, a powerful animal as well. And it says, although interestingly enough, it says peace at the bottom, gorilla and peace. So here we have the gorilla has its back to us. It's got some sort of a mask here, okay? There's like some sort of a headdress mask, which we might think of as an ancient culture, you know, wearing some sort of mask or headdress as they're doing some sort of ceremonial dance. The gorilla is very calmly and peacefully sitting there looking out to the clouds, looking out to the universe. It's almost as if the gorilla is on a mountaintop or something, because it's looking over the clouds, like the clouds are at the same eye level almost as the gorilla, which makes us feel like the gorilla is high up. And if we're high up above the clouds, we're looking at things from a higher perspective, and we're looking at things from a higher vantage point. We're closer to, if you want to use this term metaphorically, we're closer to the heavens. We're closer to, you know, that God source energy. We're closer to that peace. We're closer to that oneness of all that is. We do have a planet here in the background. And again, this could be the planet Uranus. This is number 1, actually. This is the first card. Number 1 has a strength, a confidence, self-assuredness, a sense of leadership about it. And any great leader, right? Gorillas are strong, but any great leader comes at it through a sense of balance and peace and a kind of a quiet strength. You know, those are the best leaders. Not someone who's telling people what to do and barking the orders, but someone who's very peacefully observing, just like this gorilla is observing from a higher perspective what's happening, what's going on in life, maybe for his family, maybe for himself. But he's in a place of peace here. And again, with that headdress, and I'm looking here, it almost looks like I don't know if it's an arrow or a staff here, a headdress, and some sort of a shield. But the shield it's not in a warrior mode. The gorilla isn't holding the shield in a warrior stance, or, you know, in that stance of needing to protect right at the moment. He's almost in that place where he's in a restful state. So I feel like you're needing to observe more before being more in that warrior state. Observe first. Be at peace first. Look at things from a higher perspective first. What's going on? What's the perception that you have going on around you? And wait for that Uranus planet to shift its energy. It turns retrograde on Thursday. So I feel like maybe up until Thursday, you're waiting, you're pausing, you're staying in a place of peace. And then after Thursday, once it turns retrograde, maybe that's when you're making your move. That's when you're taking a stand. That's when you're going to move forward with some idea or direction. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for all of your support. I try to do the best that I can to make everybody happy as far as the format and how I do my readings. But I appreciate you liking and commenting and sharing, supporting me with this. So if you'd like to support in some way, sharing it is a very good way of supporting. Also, you might see links down below in the description of how you can leave a review on either Google or Trustpilot as far as liking my videos and how it might have helped you over the months or years and supporting you on your spiritual journey or spiritual awakening. That would be another way to support me as well. So thank you so much. I send you all lots of love and light and peace and balance as we move through this week in August. And I will see you all again next week. Blessings and love and light, everyone.